tempo.
Find a tempo.
I've seen this before. Mine will return.
My flow is like my flow is like
Won't you come over? Dying to know where you came from. We're breaking open. Feel like our future's just begun. And all I know is that we lost time. If we stay right here, we could free ourselves inside. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away when no one knows. Let's run away together. Just lead me into your world. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away when no one knows. Let's run away together on our own. Just lead me into your world. Waiting for no one. We're heading straight up for the sun. They'll never notice. We'll take these cities on our own. And all I know is that we lost time. If we stay right here, we could free ourselves inside. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away when no one knows. Let's run away together. Just lead me into your world. We'll stay awake forever. We'll hide away when no one knows. Let's run away together on our own. Just lead me into your world.
I'm still staring at the same wall, All right, go ahead and get this started tonight. I was talking with XeroxDev a little earlier today, and from what it sounds like, wow, it was kind of funny. Let me read this back again. The last I heard was, "I think you found a bug. Let me investigate this a bit further." And that was it. So the core of the problem appears to be that something worked really well, not just for his test, but he actually has, not for the example, but they've actually have a public plugin somewhere that is already using the new version of the code. So it seems as though this should be working, and I'm not sure why it's not for me. So what I'm going to do is fork the repository, see if I can figure out how to work on it locally and still be able to use it in the little plugin project that we have going on, which is something I've never really found an elegant way to do that for, or not with a fork anyway. Hold on 1 second here. All right, so I did a little bit of research while I was waiting for the 10 minutes to go up, and it looks like I can probably try to use the npm link command. We're going to try that and see if we can start doing some proper JavaScript development here. So I have a fork of this package, and we're going to clone it. Deck SDK. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to do something else. It's one of my other dot files that I did recently. Move this. I got this inspiration from Reese. They have a clone sh in their dot files that sets up all of their local repositories. And so I have something similar now. And I actually created a couple of different... I never do anything the easy way. I made it a little more complicated so that I could have sort of like a little DSL for cloning these projects. So for things that are valet, things that are sites, projects, Laravel things, and then OSS projects. So the way it works is I'm going to say clone, and then I'm going to give the repository path, or the username and repository for the master, not the master, but the upstream. So that would be XeroxDev. And then I'm going to say also add Simensen's fork. So I'm going to run clone. Alright, cool. So that automatically adds my fork and everything. And I can do this on a new system, or if things really go bad somehow, just blow away my code directory and get everything back out exactly the way I wanted it set up. Needed to remember to do that for a couple of other projects as well. Alright, so we got code, now we got Stream Deck. See what we have here. So I'm going to look at the fork for now. So we have the watch script to oh, interesting. I think I missed this before. That's really cool. I'm going to use that in my plugin. Because that was one of the things that I was wondering about. I currently have 3 separate commands one to get the TypeScript files and then one to create both of those. So I don't know if I missed it the first time or if they've changed it since then. But before I do anything else, I'm going to do that. So I currently have Watch, which does a decent job, but then I need to do on success and then run browserify. Browserify runs plugin and it creates the bundle for the plugin and then the bundle for the property inspector. I may not need these. Didn't remove them. Alright, that's cool. Alright, so I learned something just by starting right where I should start always, so that's good. Alright, so I just wanted to see if there's anything special to do, but it does look like this means I'm going to have to have this watching if I'm going to start building this in my own directory, or build my own fork. Let's see here. There we go. Let's just do Beau for now, so I'd make sure I remember. Don't really know which thing we're going to try to look at on here, but this way I don't do it on master. So it's the main thing for me. Okay, so let's see. So the actual source code for the package is in source, and so let's get a little quick overview. So index just makes it possible to aggregate all of these different locations into just the root package. Interfaces, types. I keep seeing different people doing different things for organizing TypeScript packages, and it's really confusing because I don't understand why some people have namespaces as the file name, why this one's called types, probably because it only has types, but it's in a directory called interfaces, and there are also interfaces. I guess you could argue that there's interfaces and they use types, but this particular interface isn't using any types. This is something that we see quite a bit because this is sort of the ACD data. I'm not sure what the ACD stands for. It's action data. But this is sort of the base event for anything that goes to the actions. Coordinates, this would be the coordinates on the Stream Deck itself. Enums. Event type, all. Then for individual events, init event. Event info, implementation. So this just creates a structure for a relatively large event. And then each of these subdirectories has a specific type of events. So some of them look like they're paired. So this is in appearance. So we've got appear and disappear. So we've got interface, settings, any. This is the thing that I might want to see if we could do something. But I don't think I know enough about TypeScript to really make that happen. So that is definitely something that I'd like to do a little bit more of. So all of these are more or less just interface declarations, so there's no actual functionality anywhere in here. Okay, so let's go back to... We looked at interface, decorators. So there's only 2 decorators now. One for handling an SD action, or an action event, and the other one is for handling property inspector events. And now there's a bunch of work in the abstract classes. So that was one of the big changes from the original version that we were using earlier last week, and the newer one is rather than decorating the class, we're actually having to extend plugin handler in this case. For a restream plugin, for channel action, this is extending stream deck action, and then the property inspector is extending stream deck property inspector handle. So we've got stream deck action, got plugin handler, and these all extend the base class. So the base class has the action for everything, I guess. I almost wonder if this is maybe where the bug lives. Because if Stream Deck... Okay, actually this... Okay, so action doesn't actually extend the base. So I guess that might not be where the problem is. I was thinking that if the actions also open a WebSocket connection, that may not be the best solution. Okay, but if we're going to actually look through here, okay.
Inside this spell, now I feel it.
Okay.
Now I feel it. Your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel them. I can feel them pull me down. You won't ever let me leave you. You make
This, I wonder if this is where the issue is. There is a getter for global settings, but I don't think that was ever accessible. If I look in my plugin, request global settings, the problem that I'm seeing is that this is never called. So did receive global setting is never called, but if I have channel action receiving that event, it does get it. And I don't know why. XeroxDev had no clear clue why. And wonder if it has to do with the fact that this is already being so settings. running these. No, I'm not running them anymore. There. Unknown compiler option. I was all excited about finding that. Why is it not working? Oh, TSE Watch. I probably just got a little too excited. Watch. And not found. Little details, huh? Cannot be mixed with source files. Okay. Explains why this didn't work, or why this was not there. 3 errors. Okay, so cannot resolve path. Browser file. Hasn't supported it. Alright, so channel action. That actually is broken. Not intentionally, but not a surprise that it's broken, but what is here? Okay, cool. Now Dev tools. Plugin on ready, not yet available. Okay, so this is showing that, confirming that there's an issue here. So it doesn't have global settings. I'm requesting global settings. This never getting called. So we have global settings plugin action event not happening. And if I don't call, if I remove this, this is the really weird part. If I don't request global settings, then the channel action doesn't get it either. If I request it here, only the channel action gets it. Doesn't make sense to me. I feel like there's something weird going on. And if we look at the actual plugin handler here, there should be an action event here as well. So what I'm going to do is set a timeout. I want to see if we have this value set, this global settings, even if this function isn't getting called, because then that means the other version is getting. That's still not available. Interesting. if I don't specify this. Maybe there's something weird with there. Okay, so I think this is time to actually start working. So let's go ahead and follow the instructions here. So we're going to npm link. Head and now if I go plugin page, plugin directory, stop watching, to be able to npm link package. Called Deck Typescript. Okay. So in theory, don't know how this works. If I make a change in library, I don't know if that's going to trigger should trigger a rebuild for the library. I don't know if it'll trigger a rebuild for the source. Oh, it's a debug. Alright, so if I save that should trigger a build here. And it looks like it actually triggered a build there. That will definitely make life easier if that's the case. So let's go ahead and enable debug. Cool. Okay. All right. So after a bit of delay, didn't get anything. So we see sending register plugin, receive device connects, send global settings, receive global settings. Okay, so we're getting did receive global settings. So I want to see plugin handler. Okay, so receive event, just ignore, get event, app. Okay. If available event doesn't have it, then set it to an empty array, and we're going to push it. So adding event listener. Okay, so it only has one. It only has one function for this event, registered. Channel action. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. If I remove this, oh, not from there, but channel action. Do the same thing, but there should be no events. Yeah, so it's not even getting in here because there are no registered events. Yeah, so events is did receive global setting. Okay. This is a good sign because it looks like legitimately not doing the right thing. So somewhere we are adding event for that. Okay. So let's go ahead and I wonder if there's a race condition here or something with the way this map is working. or just in some cases, but this should tell us if the things are actually getting registered correctly. So I'm going to add this again. So we should see the channel adding event listener. We should also see the property inspector adding the event listener. But the property inspector isn't instantiated yet, so I guess it makes sense. Won't see that. Rerun this. So I'm not seeing this happen. I wonder what. I wonder if it was not being in debug mode yet. Like if a bunch of this stuff is happening before I enable debug mode. It is. Okay, cool. Alright, so adding an event listener for did receive global events. We are seeing will appear and for key up. But we're only seeing one attempt to add it. Means if I remove this, I wonder if that means we'll only see none. Like none should actually show up. Yeah, okay. Alright, so now I guess I gotta figure out how TypeScript the decorators work. Because apparently they aren't working in the case of the other class. So SD action event did receive global settings. The interesting thing is I feel like some of the others are working. So I'm going to switch this back to global settings. Best thing there. Alright, so let's go into the decorators. Alright, so decorators. On action event decorator. Possible events to receive. So target. Property. I think the best thing for me to do is maybe that console log statement. Do okay. So did receive global settings, will appear, key up, did receive global settings. Alright, so something is dropping Both of these did receive global settings. Only picking up key up and will appear. See if we can trace this a bit more. Okay, so add event listener, getting the plugin, the action name, and the instance. Property key. Descriptor type property. So we'll get the event up here, target that's passed in property descriptor. No idea what these things are supposed to be. My guess is that something weird going on here with target not being something that can actually accept these things, or not something that actually does anything with SD event. But I want to see what it's actually doing. Okay, so did receive events on global settings. This is target is Stream Deck base handler. Will appear is Stream Deck action. This is a target is what? So target actually has 2 events already. Oh, I think that just has the 2 events. This Stream Deck base has 2 events too. Function. What do we have way down here? Target. Restream IO plugin. Okay. Key up. Target is Stream Deck action. Yeah, so this doesn't look like it has SD events. I think must be why it doesn't actually get anything. Okay, so let's double check here. So for our abstracts, action, SD events. Handler base. Does inspector. Yes, it does. Okay, so that's why the property inspector works. But the plugin does not. Right here. Let's see. Inspected. Property inspector probably should. Well, so it's doing something fancy here. It has its issue pose. Abstract class constructor. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. Not set property global settings of undefined. But at least we're getting somewhere now. Settings, got that twice. Alright, so this makes sense because this is still not working. Not set property global settings. Actually happen.
You take me
Alright, yeah, so this is undefined. Why would this be undefined? Alright, so there's something weird about the way it is decorated. So, it receives global settings. Target is Stream Deck Handler base. It has SD events. Target. Stream Deck Handler base. Alright, so let's look at adding an event listener. Plugin.add event listener function. Message event. Okay, so we need to find instance. Where is it getting instance? Ah. events. Alright, so what I see happening here is this is the constructor that's being used for the, or it's the payload that is going to the event is plugin, action name, and then the action, maybe? What are we doing for the property inspector? That's only passing this. I think that's what we had originally been plugin hand. And so the first argument is supposed to be the plugin. Makes sense. Action name. I think that's where it's a little iffy, because we don't have an action. If not event action or event action equals action name, call it. So after descriptor value. The thing actions. So it's calling thing actions. That's not the one we're looking at, but we need to have here. So the descriptor is on global settings. So this is function on global settings. So the first argument is this. Args array is the value that's. We are looking for instance. That plugin is this instance that we're calling. also this. This should be not really an action. I think the decorator looks like it requires an action. Now let's see what happens. Okay, so it's working. So after a bit of delay, we have the right values. Plugin on ready, so it's not yet available here. Available handlers, there's two. Stream Deck plugin handler.onglobal settings called Restream IO plugin. So it actually gets it here. And then got global settings in plugin.action event. So it looks like these things are all working. So I want to change my code. Try to not request global settings and see. We actually still have to request it. But it's not ready. This one, end up action event, I'm getting called. Not. So set thing action is alright, so did receive global settings. Falls on global settings. This one appears to be working. This one has a target of Stream Deck plugin handler. This one has a target of Stream Deck handler base. Deck plugin. Stream Deck handler base works. Stream Deck plugin handler does not. Alright, so this is the one that doesn't work. If this isn't here, it doesn't work. For some reason, this one isn't working anyway. Visually receive global settings, Stream Deck plugin handler. Proto has SD events though. Alright, so makes sense. Had to add SD events to target Stream Deck handler phase. Decorating, had to add SD events to Stream Deck action. That makes sense. Key up, we didn't have to do it there. And apparently we didn't have to do it here either. The one concerning bit here is adding event listener for did receive global settings. The fact that this shows 2 makes me wonder if there is a makes me wonder if there's only one of those functions, or if for some reason there's no. SD events should contain array. On up here. handle state change. On global settings, set thing action. So this one doesn't appear to get called.
In my head like a melody, laying back in this bed, playing back what you said, and it's not really helping me. Coming down from this high is a dangerous ride. I'm coasting, out of body floating, lost in my emotions. I've been spinning slowly.
I think I've lost why I was looking for this, because it looks like it's working. Plugin ready is here.
I don't care 모든 것을 대해 전부 있게 돼 And I just want you right here with me 끝이 없이 우린 floating Lost in your deep oceans 깊이 스며가 slowly Trying to keep my head above water Then you go and pull me under Crazy thing I know I'm done for Stuck in this state of wonder Stuck in this state of wonder, yeah Stuck in this state of wonder
Okay, so keep global settings has everything we need. What changes did I actually?
Trying to keep my head above water Then you go and pull me under Crazy thing I know I'm done for Stuck in this state of wonder Stuck in this state of wonder
You're not as cold as me. Cold as me.
Right, so don't need that. Need this. Appears as though we need this. Making this protected looks like it could be important. I'll do okay. So back to basics here. We received global settings. I want double check part where I was doing this nonsense. Okay. The one thing I think I'd like to try before I commit to doing this if I can make this work. Go back to decorator and apply to instance or plugin. I think that's pretty close to what we were intending. It was either going to get called on the thing, the action, in the case of panel action, or it should be called on the plugin itself, which before I do that, no, I think this should check the property inspector if I go too much. Yeah, these are no longer working, so let's see. I feel like that should have mattered. Open up. Go to load resource. Did give global settings here. Problem is the channel list is giving us an error. So thought that was handled a little better. We'll be getting this error. Delta load, Delta channel list. Property for each is under. Channel still. Alright, so that looks like that's working. Not perfect, but I want to make sure that this works if I switch this option. Appears to be.
I've been on that love drunk prohibition, but thinking that you might be my new addiction. You think I let 2020 kind of you, 'cause we can quarantine just me and you.
Alright, so I'm going to remove this little hinge I made. Plug-in hand. Don't need this or that. There, it looks like. Okay, so this seems to clear stuff up for me off of this, so let's do git. Cool. Let's see. Add that. Could just try to let that go. That works. lot of other I think might be the best. For the next few things that I'd probably want to add would be like the flush settings flush commands. Be low-hanging fruit. But for now I have it on my own, so I think I'm gonna just keep running with that. So one of the things I wanted to do, if we just go back to the actual plugin that I'm making, I think I want to automatically see if I can automatically set the plugin inspector to have the channel hidden by default. So it doesn't flash empty and then fill later. Cool. That seems to be relatively I think that what I would want to probably have the authenticate button here if the token ever fails like that. Can't get the channel list because there's really no way to recover from that. Just have to know that you need to add a new account. Totally. That fixes it. Seems like it's still giving me error that is transparent. Oh. Great work, Beau. Cool. There is still some dirtiness that I don't like here with the way that things sort of fill in slowly. Oh well. Okay, so we'll leave that for now, because I think that that's good. The thing I want to do is try to figure out how the on and offness this or maybe better yet, try to figure out how to decouple when the channel list is being updated from the UI at all. Because right now this update UI command does quite a bit of stuff. Requesting global fittings. At one point I was listing the channels. Here we go. Play name doesn't actually. State. Look at the get channel state from. Okay. It does have active. Is that not inactive? Enabled. I think this is maybe a little out of date from reality then. They actually have a interface. Oh, that's for the WebSockets streaming. Alright, so I think this takes us back to our channel action. Where, don't actually want to do anything. I do. So the first thing I need to do is, what is the current state? Guy. Up. Should toggle sweet. So I think there's an on ready in here as well. Ready. There isn't. There isn't. Awesome. Okay. So I guess it should be on will appear. We'll update the title to X like we currently are. And then we should try to get information from the restream. Token. The channel. So the client itself should have access to everything it needs in order to figure out. We should have access to global settings. We should have access to the channel ID because that should be on this .settings. So the URL is what? There. All right, so I'm going to update to X, and then the restream account. Our client gets. Okay, so I'm going to sketch something out here. Something I've been thinking about to try to handle this problem where having a dependency on something that requires all of the settings being coded. The client. This dot with specify the sets. Print client dot get channel. Oh. So we get the channel to if channel dot. That's what we do. Enabled. If channel dot enabled. We'll set state to true. State type off. Alright, so this is the thing that I'm not 100% sure about. If I'm sending set state, I don't know if that will then be picked up by state handler. How? Possible events for actions to
I'm running away from the past I left behind. I'm looking for answers, but I'm blinded
payload
by
object.
the light. I'm lost in the music and I stay here for the night. I promise I'll be gone in the morning, out of sight, and out
That
of
when the action has multiple states to find. Yes. Key down has it. Up has it. Up here has it. Change. It receives.
It's like you're stuck in a nightmare, but you keep doing it for the thrill. Well, this is reality. You only live once,
So it is in did receives.
but just for tonight, let the lines get blurred. Let your thoughts be free. Let your thoughts be free.
So it looks like did receive settings should actually add that. Will appear. Will appear. So let's see now if the title receive title parameters did change. Leave that twice. Did receive settings, it isn't active. Doesn't look like it's actually setting state.
We stand and watch the world go up in flames. We fight for love until we die in vain.
Ah, it's not doing anything. Great. So for now, if not this plugin cut little setting. Alright, so if we don't have global settings yet, we can't do anything. Likewise, we also need local settings. which I guess could be passed. So if there aren't settings for them otherwise, or let's we actually want to shift the pin or undefined is okay, so alright, so we're creating a function that executes a specific call with these things and this function. If we have these values, try to assume them, otherwise we'll use this call. So once we finally have the global settings for this action, we'll call all of them, starting with the first and then ending up with the one that we're at. And I need to do this if not defined, or this plugin global setting not yet defined.
Yeah, you told me I would have to wait. After all these conversations, would we
This is definitely one of the things that I'd like to tweaking on this. I'd rather just have it be null. Null or not defined or something that can be passive. Some way to say it's not there, other than actually doing strings in here. A lot of fun. Alright, so with Restream Client IO resolved, we need to turn new Restream IO client that needs global settings, so we can do this plugin global settings, excuse me, and actual settings that were passed. Possible there's some of this stuff that could go into the Restream IO client itself to be a little more usable outside of just this one action, but I'm just trying to prototype this for now. So let's add some things here. Debugging a console log global setting. And so in theory this should all work. Last words. Okay, cannot read property push of undefined. Awesome. Alright, so I think that means this. Okay, so we don't have global settings yet. Deferring. Okay. There was something missing here. We actually need to leave the global settings. Settings. Don't actually because the plugin could have it. Settings. So I actually need to move this code somewhere else. It's still the request. Call it here, and we'll call it it's questionable as to whether or not call it here. I think just defer them. As soon as this comes in, this is going to trigger them to run. Then afterwards, any other calls to this. Okay. We have a deferred function running now, so we're actually getting there. Now, turn new. Cool. We aren't getting received. Try. Expected to see some error, but
This is what you made of love. The words are spoken, my heart is broken, keeping me tangled up in you. But I've had enough, and I won't keep coming undone. 'Cause it's not over. I fought too hard to lose. I feel your pressure. Don't care if I'm getting bruised. It makes me stronger. I'm here to dominate.
ah,
I won't surrender. Now hear me
we actually need to do something with the callback, like give it the client that we just created. Awesome. All right, so let's ready state 1, set state, payload state 1, and this is state 1. So we have Beau Simensen art. Beau Simensen, Twitch, YouTube, Beau Simensen. Okay, so let's add a little more detail. Settings, this stuff, context, that's gonna work. Let us see if there would be a get title. Save channel detail. Setting the state.
Nothing's gonna stop me. Hey, yeah. Nothing's gonna stop me. Feeling so right. Nothing's gonna stop me. Hey, yeah. Nothing's gonna stop me. Feeling so, 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 feeling
Fabricated. So
Nothing's gonna stop me. Hey, yeah. Nothing's
okay,
gonna
cool.
stop
That should
me.
work. All right, so
Nothing's gonna stop me.
name is going to be
Nothing's gonna stop me. Feeling so, 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 feeling so.
Boo for now. All right, so it's using foo. This dot names text or unknown. Names. But never is not. Ah, that's actually probably the full source of the problem. Or explicit. Yeah, so this works. And then keep channel details. Names, text, roles. Okay, so this is annoying. I feel like that's different than what it was.
You are my strangest addiction. I could say I'll quit without any conviction. Broke my own heart.
This dot names text.
For believing that a ghost could find a body alive.
Ah, but I actually have to tell it to update you.
Don't call me. I'll find something to escape my mind. There's a tragedy in every ember. The cause when
Like I'm really gonna have to change. All right, so wrong. YouTube art. Yeah, so I need to do something here. So did receive settings should actually trigger an update. Currently not doing it. Right now it's just sharing this. So I think I should be able to just do able to do not doing the actual turn on. Update. State management. Okay. So they all think they're off. Not true. So receive channel details. Active. Well, so now it's active. I'm not going to get upset about it. Enabled. Alright, so they're still off. Load it. Ah! Nice. Alright, so I can't really tell which is which. That's fine. Let me do channel ID. I have a platform. Channel identifier, channel. Service ID. I guess I have the channel ID, but I don't. Doesn't list the platform here, which. Oh, service ID. I bet that's what it is. So let's do names. Platform. Get the info. Platform. Platform. This step plugin to global functions is. I really hope we can fix that. Do global settings with global settings. So, Twitch, Beau Simensen, YouTube, Beau Simensen, Twitch, art. We're on these. Yeah, I think I'm going to call that a night, actually. I'm gonna call this a win that we've gotten this far. So I now have a panel that at least show me the state of the channels. Ideally, what I'd like to do is design what these keys should look like, so it's more clear when they're on versus when they're off. Also, probably try to find a way to embed the image. Oh, actually, let me see if I can do that right now. Because I do have access to URLs for images for the platform. So let me do. Then call it done for the next. Image. SV. Let's do PNG first. Or an image. Plugin. Text image. Well, if streaming platform icon URLs, context, that the image value. I think if it's a URL, it just works. I haven't done anything with it. Yeah, okay, so setting the image work like. Let me double check, bro. Image, target, state. Image. API can accept SVG. Yeah, I think I'm going to be done for tonight. Can't think of ways to do this without doing another Axios call, and that just... it's possible that what I could do is do all of this and when I refresh streaming platforms. Part of that process can be getting, so for each of the platforms, go get the SVG version of the image so that we can use it like this. That seems a little off for me. So yeah, I think I'm probably good for tonight. If you've been watching, thanks for being here. Feeling pretty positive about where this is going. Enjoying working with the TypeScript stuff and XeroxDev's library. Hoping that we can continue to work together on that and keep making it better and easier to work with. I mean, it's already, I feel like it's loads better than it had been before, and now that I'm actually getting into actually implementing my stuff that I want to do instead of just trying to get it to work at all, I'm probably going to find even more things that might be nicer to do. And a lot of this state management stuff that I'm working on here, I think this is just on me. I need to get a better handle on how I want to actually handle these things, order I need to do things in. I need to better understand how to communicate state changes. So for example, the differences between like turn on and turn off and what that means. And also here where we're getting the information in on up here, calling set state, but I don't think there's any way for my application right now to know that I've done that. So the fact that we are keeping track of everything in a single instance of channel action means that I started to do this sort of thing to state. And I feel like that's one of the things that was maybe nicer with the earlier version of this library, where you actually had a new instance channel action for each actual key that was placed, or each place. There was no need to pass around context everywhere, which is what's really difficult here, is that passing context, but really I need to pass more than just the context, because some of the other information that I'm using. Well, I'm passing context. I had to store this information on the class itself, or the instance itself, with the context as a key, because otherwise it was just getting really annoying to pass these things around. Possible I could do it all with settings, but then I think I'd go back to the sync settings stuff that I'd been working on for Property Inspector, where if I set the settings key locally, kind of like what I was doing here, I would then have to find a way to flush these settings back to the rest of the system so that it would actually be persisted. Because right now, I don't think this is persisted anywhere, but I don't know for sure. I definitely don't have context of whether or not, for example, on receive settings or will appear. I don't know what the last state was. I don't know if it's which state it's in. Anyway, so there's a bunch of that kind of stuff that I think I need to wrap my brain around how to do this a little better. Yeah, but overall, I'm pretty excited with where it's going. So thanks again. I think for sure supposed to be doing this tomorrow night, but I don't know how much more I'm going to get in on it. On streaming stuff, I'm going to try and do some actual art stuff also. Thanks again, and have a good night. Bye.